Guys, welcome back to the homestead. So today we're going to be making a tallow pain salve. This one I actually rather enjoy. I use it for like my sciatic issues, or if my joints and stuff are kind of stiff after working around the farm and stuff, or anywhere like you have joint knee pain, stuff like that. Another fun use for it is if you're going to be spending a lot of time outside and you're going to be in your muck boots or something like that, and you're trying to find a way to keep your feet warm. I've actually applied this to my toes to kind of help keep my toes warm. So I call them like my tallow toe balm. So it has many uses and many names, but you're going to start out with a very basic 1 cup of organic or extra virgin olive oil, about 2 tablespoons of tallow, 1/4 cup of dried cayenne pepper, 1/4 cup of arnica flowers, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground ginger. And then you're going to infuse all of that again on a low heat. I've already drained mine because you guys have watched me infuse enough stuff. But this one, when you're done, has a nice orange tint to it, which I think is kind of fun. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take it, since it's done, and we're going to add our beeswax in. And as always, with this one, for this, I'm trying to make a salve consistency. So we're only going to put about 2.5 tablespoons of beeswax in there, because we're trying to get that creamy kind of texture to it, right? Like a lotion kind of texture, so we can kind of rub it into our joints and our pain issues or areas better. So we're just going to take this now. I'm going to wait for this to melt down, and then we'll come back. Okay, so my beeswax has almost completely melted down at this point. Like I said, we're just trying to get that gel-like consistency to it. So then I'm going to take it out of the double boiler and just pour it into a different jar. Because again, I like it in a smaller jar for stirring. It's up to personal preference if you want to leave it in a larger jar. Less dishes is always good too. So we're going to let this just cool for a minute, and because I actually added it to a cold jar, it won't take as long to kind of cool down enough to where we can add our essential oils. So what I've already done is I have measured out 6 drops of camphor oil, and you could use rosemary, right, if camphor's too strong for you, and 12 drops of lavender essential oil. So we're going to take those. Now that we've removed it from the heat, and we're just going to pour them in. And we're going to let this sit, and we're going to come back and we're going to stir it about every 5 minutes. Now, here's a great thing about this recipe. If you wanted to take it and make them into lotion bars, just add more beeswax. And then you can apply these, onto your joint areas if you wanted to. So you've got an option of doing it both ways. I prefer it this way when rubbing it onto my feet. But just remember to check to make sure that with the camphor and the cayenne and the ginger, that any medications you're on or any issues that you might currently have, it's not going to have any type of reaction or cause any more issues. So, right, just make sure you do your research before just saying, "Ooh, that looks fun, let me try it." But I personally like these. And again, remember when using cayenne pepper, as you can see, I have my glasses on because if any of this sprinkled, moved, or whatever, cayenne pepper and eyeballs do not mix well. So I'm going to let this cool, keep stirring about every 5 minutes, just like we did with the other one. And then when this is completed, I will come back and show you guys the final product. Okay guys, so it's been about 15-20 minutes, and I've come back and I've stirred about every 5 minutes. If you want to speed this process up, you of course can take it and stick it in your refrigerator and then pull it out every 5 minutes as well. Sometimes I forget it's in there when I do that, so I just prefer to leave it sitting on the counter. until it finally hits that nice lotion cream type of consistency. Now for this, I put the 2.5 tablespoons in there to get that consistency. If you're trying to go more of a lotion bar consistency, then I would probably add about 4 to 5 tablespoons. Start with 4. You can always add more if you need to come back. The great thing about it, if you don't get the consistency that you want for the lotion bar, just plop it back into your double boiler, let it heat up and melt, add some more beeswax until you finally get it where you want it to be. Again, remember when touching these, they do have cayenne pepper in them. And if you've ever had it in your eyeball, you will be a big advocate to keep it out of your eyeball. So I'm going to take it now and I'm just going to transfer it in to a smaller container because I use my mason jars for a lot of stuff. But it has, it has gorgeous color to it. Honestly, the camera doesn't even do it justice for the color. So then I just put this on my shelf and it should last you, again, 12 months, but like all things, just keep an eye on it to make sure that nothing wonky is growing in it. Again, using a utensil to get it out so that way we're not sticking our hands constantly into the jar. And taking care too to make sure that nothing in this is going to cause us any adverse reactions with anything that we've got going on, right? If you have arthritis and you're on certain medications, maybe cayenne pepper is not something you want to use with it. So make sure you do your own research so you don't cause yourself some harm while doing this. And if all else fails, of course, check with your doctor. But with this, I enjoy it. I put it on the counter. It's great for joints, back. I wouldn't go so far muscle pain because I like a menthol with my muscle pain, which I have that recipe too. I sell that in my store. Just take care. Keep it out of your eyeballs, of course, if all else fails. And I hope you enjoyed watching this recipe. I'm going to put the full recipe of what I used below. And of course, with the addition, if you want to make it into the lotion bars, to be able to rub it on your toes to keep your feet warm. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for stopping by and have a great day.